All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another video. Today we've got an update review, and this update kind of came suddenly. I had no idea it was coming. And yeah, it's December 2nd, so fresh. It just came down today, and let's go ahead and take a look at it. So as always, focus more on the competitive side of things, the online side of things. But we'll take a look at the single player stuff as well, just for those who are interested about those changes. So first thing was going to be the new 1v1 Red Bull ladder. It's going to start January 2nd. Okay. The rating's going to be reset, and everyone can compete for a spot to try to get into the main event of Red Bull. So if you guys are interested in playing, I highly recommend you guys try to play this. Even if you're a very beginner level, it's very cool for you guys to play the game mode that the pro players are playing for a tournament. And also, if you're like an intermediate player, you never know if this really just pushes you to hit the next step, or if you're just competitive, you can just try to get as best as you can on the rank ladder. You might even get a chance to play against pro players if you play right away. So it's actually quite interesting to hop in and play that ladder. This doesn't really affect too much. I'm gonna just kind of skip that a little bit. I am sick, so excuse the coughing and whatnot. All right, so gameplay. Fix an issue where Hera's decay faster than usual. It's whatever. Balance changes. Oh, here we go. We're jumping right into the meat and potatoes here. So general. Chicken type animal food increased from 65 to 75. Okay, that's a good change. I think chickens were a little too skippable before. Like you can just kind of skip the chickens and you're not that far behind. Now they increased every chicken by 10 food, which is actually a pretty substantial change. It's going to make chickens a lot better to go for. Next up, we have Eagle Warrior cost reduced from 25 food and 50 gold, and now it's going to be 20 food, 50 gold. This is really interesting. This is basically a nerf reversal. For those who don't know, this was the original price of Eagles when the game first came out, when Definitive Edition came out, and they actually nerfed them to make them cost 5 extra food, and now they're bringing that back to the original price. This is a pretty big change. This is going to make specifically all-in like Eagles and Castlage very strong. So like the build order that I have in my Patreon PDF, of like 2 Barrack Eagle into all in, really strong. The other one where it's like archers and eagles opening, going to be a lot stronger as well. So both build orders that I have, both like main strategies for Mesocivs, would be much stronger. And this is also going to make Eagle Warriors a lot stronger in late game as well, because you're able to spam them with low economy. So low economy, late game Eagle Flood is going to be very legit. And yeah, it affects more the Castlage strategies with Eagles in the early game, but also helps a bit in late game. A pretty big buff for Mesocivs. Next, Gambesons reduced from 100 food, 100 food. 100 food, 100 gold to 50 food, 100 gold. That's good. It only gives +1 pierce armor, so it really should be quite cheap, comparable to something like maybe like less than even Bloodlines. Like it's really just not that good of an upgrade. So it's an important upgrade for infantry civs. I'd like it to be there, but cheaper is better. So that's a really good change. Traction Trebuchet reload time increased from 9 seconds to 11 seconds. And then there's also a couple other things. So Traction Trebuchet bonus damage for buildings increased 175 to 230. And then Traction Trebuchet movement speed reduced from 0.6 to 0.57. What this is doing is it's making Traction Trebuchets worse against units and better against buildings. And the reason for this is that Traction Trebuchets, especially on like something like Black Forest, Arena, people just got like 20, 30 of them. All right. And then just defended them with halberdiers. And that like 20 Traction Trebs, they just shoot against units and they wipe out armies. And they just keep doing that. And it's very hard to counterplay it. So what they're doing here is they're trying to address that issue by nerfing the Traction Trebuchets against units and making them stronger against buildings. I think it's a good change. Makes sense to me. And now we're going to go into Civ-specific stuff, so we'll do it one at a time here. No skipping, guys. No skipping. Armenians. Warrior Priest cost reduced from 30 food, 60 gold, to 30 food, 50 gold. Whoa. That's insane. I don't know why we would do this. This unit was already really, really good. It's like the best part about Armenians in a lot of cases, right? And now they just cost 10 less gold. That's a really big change. It's going to make it easier to afford Warrior Priests for relics, which is good. And it's going to make Warrior Priests just like really strong as a standalone unit as well, because it costs 10 less gold per unit. So if you just start massing them, like if you make 40 of them, you're saving 400 gold, which is pretty substantial. That's a pretty big change. Like I really like that. For Armenians, I don't think it was necessary at all. I think Armenians were already really strong. Giving them an extra buff on the Warrior Priest feels like, yeah, it feels like that's a bit much. Fair enough. Meanwhile, what the Bulgarians get? Bulgarians can now train petards from Kripost. from the Krepos. Great. Like every change to Bulgarians is just petarded, by the way. Like they never get anything substantial. They always get like the randomest things. Like now, oh, okay, we can make petards from Krepos. Yeah, okay, that's gonna change things for the Bulgarians. No, if you get the Krepos, you're already in a good position. Getting like petards out of the Krepos is not gonna change anything. I mean, fair enough. Like the CIVS already has a decent win rate at like lower elos, so not like he needs a crazy buff, but yeah, I don't think this does a whole lot. But like, fair enough. Like I'm happy to see it. It does make sense. Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Next up, Burgundians. Flemish militia movement speed increased from 0.9 to 0.94. Also surprising, this unit was already very strong before, because it no longer takes bonus damage from skirmishers. That was last patch, and now they're getting buffed again. Keep track of these buffs, guys. This is double buffs on the unit. I don't know why. Again, this doesn't make sense. The unit was already good. Now it's going to be very strong, in my opinion, against just like a variety of units. It still moves slower than archers, and it still moves slower than men-at-arms. They move at 0.96. So it's a little slower, but still it's comparable to where you can like chase away skirms and archers and not let them turn around and hit you. So it's actually quite good. And it's going to make this unit even stronger. Yeah, I don't know why they buffed this unit. I think it was already quite good, but I'm kind of happy to see it because I think this unit is very fun to play with. So fair enough. It's going to make Burgundians very strong. Maybe even played in KOTD. We'll see. Next, we got the Georgians. So unique tech as Nori cavalry. Effect improved from mounted units take less population space from 15% to 20%, so 20% less population space, and the upgrade cost was reduced from 750 250 to 550 250. Double buff. Double buff for the Georgians. Fortified churches improved nearby villagers civilization bonus area improved from 8 tiles to 9 tiles. Sorry, triple buff for the Georgians. This is kind of crazy because this civ is already really good for me. I think it's already a very solid civilization. Not like top tier, but not bottom tier. So the fact that it's getting a triple buff, although small changes, I think it's pretty good. This is going to make overall their late game better. Because like realistically, this is going to help your late game when you have like multiple churches. And then this is a purely late game tech anyway. So this is just buffing their late game, which I think is fine because Georgian late game is not that crazy. But I think especially in a 1v1 setting, this is very good. In team game, it's nothing crazy, but in 1v1, this is a really, really good change. So, yeah, definitely a buff for the Georgians. Not something you're going to feel in the early game, though. All right? Oh, sorry. One at a time. Jurchen's up next. So, the Elite Iron Pagoda. Base reload time reduced from 2.28 to 2.15. Okay? Makes sense. This unit was not played too often. Mounted units and Fire Lancers attack faster civilization bonus increased from 20 to 20. It was already good. This is insane. Why are they buffing stuff that I already consider good? Am I wrong? Like now, there's 3 things now that I think is already good, and they just buffed it. So either I'm wrong, or they've just lost their minds. I'm not sure what it is. This was already very good at 20%. Let me explain this for a second here. You already got 2 hits. Every time you engage into a Jurchen scout in Feudal Age, like one-on-one, you engage and then you run away because they're stronger. As you run away, they always get that second hit on you. Okay? Very important. So their scouts stick on you because they attack so fast, kind of like how Japanese men-at-arms can stick on villagers and get that extra hit. So scouts were already getting that extra hit. At 25%, it might be like negligible, like you can't even feel it. But if you can feel that, it's going to be even stronger. And yeah, I think that's going to make their step lancers even stronger. Like their step lancers were already insane. I don't really like that change at all. I think what they were good at, they were already good at. This is just making them better at what they were already good at, which feels really weird to me. So not a fan of this change at all. And I think it's going to make them feel obnoxious in certain cases. And it doesn't even fix their weaknesses, in my opinion. It makes the Jurchens very one trick now. Like you have to play mounted units and Fire Lancers because this bonus is ridiculous. And you can't really play anything else. Yeah, it makes them very one-dimensional. I'm not a fan of that. Next up, we got the Khitans. Okay, what's going on here? So mounted treb, lingering fire tile area increased from 0.65 to 0.7, and the duration increased from 8 seconds to 10 seconds. So double buff to mounted trebuchet. That seems fine. This unit is not that crazy anyway, but maybe with this it becomes good. And then the pasture cost increased from 100 wood to 110 wood. That's going to hurt the early game a lot. And then pasture animal food increased from 105 food to 115 food to kind of match that that price increase. And then construction time increased from 18 to 22 seconds. So overall a nerf to pastures, I would say. especially hurting your early game. Like, it's taking longer to get the first one down, and it's harder to get it down. So yeah, this is definitely a nerf to the Khitan early game. Maybe it's justified. I don't know. Khitan was pretty strong. But yeah, that could be really hard to like get started now with the Khitans. If you lame them, it could be very difficult for them to play. If you meta arm rush them, it could be very difficult for them to play. So early pressure against the Khitan is going to be the way to go. Persians, Kamandaran, effect improved from Archaline cost 60 wood to 50 wood. Huge. I love that. This tech was only used in like low elo games, because in low elo games, everyone likes to hoard gold. Like, it's insane. Nobody wants to spend gold. In high elo games, obviously, like, people realize that like gold being spent is usually a good thing. So this almost never saw play, except in like hyper late game scenarios. But now it might be a little bit better. Yeah, that's actually really good. At 50 wood, it's comparable to like a skirm cost. It's actually exactly the same cost. No, it's cheaper than a skirm. Oh, that's very good. That's so good. This is going to be maybe even broken, by the way. Yeah, that's going to be at least meta. Like, at least like the option you always go for in late game with Persians. Potentially broken as well, because they're now really cheap. Okay. Shoe lumberjacks generate food in addition to wood civilization bonus reduced from 9% to 7%. This was originally at 10%, so that's a pretty big change. I think that's going to be enough of a nerf to push Shoe out of the top tier. Win rates, it's going to probably drop to like a B tier civ if I had to predict, because that's a pretty substantial nerf when considering the prior nerf as well. So it was 10% when they were broken, down to 9. They still felt strong. Now 7. They might, fall off entirely. Next, we got the Spanish. So Elite Conch increased from 18 to 19. Really good change. I love this, because the Elite Conch was not seeing too much play. The Conch in Castle Age, the Conquistador in Castle Age, very strong, obviously, oppressive. But in Imperial Age, people moved away from it. I like to see a little buff there to kind of support that unit a bit more. Elite Conquistador upgrade reduced from 1200 food, 600 gold, to 900 food, 600 gold. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand the reason to double buff this unit. Now it's going to be way too easy to get the Elite Conchs on a low economy, which you didn't want to buff anyway. Again, this, I don't know what's this, like, double buffing that we always seem to do. Like, we just can't help ourselves, by the way. We just have to double buff. I was happy with this. I think that's all they needed. This is just going to make it way too easy to get to Elite Conch on a low economy. Think about, like, someone in team game, right? He's going, Spanish Conquistadors, kills a player in Castle Age, then goes in with a very low economy and just turbos to 3 castle Elite Conch production on, like, 80 vills. It's insane. Like, that's going to be really strong. That's a very big, like, 300 food is a big, like, price decrease. I don't like this double buff. I think this is too much. It should be a very expensive upgrade, because you're getting a lot of stats for it. Like, you're getting a pierce armor, 15 HP, and now an extra 3 attack instead of an extra 2 attack. That's a lot, man. Fair enough. Spanish will be very strong with the Conquistador. Keep an eye out for that guy. Next, you have the Tatars. Elite Keshik increased from 110 to 120. Oh, no. In Castle Age, they increased from 110 to 120, and Elite 140 to 145. I think that's unnecessary. It's going to be a 140 HP unit in Castle Age. Hold on. We have to double... It has to be a double buff. Hold on. The upgrade reduced from 700 food and 100 gold to 700 food, 600 gold. I don't understand. Like, this is already good. If anything, in my opinion, like, that's going to be really strong in Castle Age, to be honest. 140 HP with Bloodlines, and then 165 in Imp. The imp you won't feel too much, because 5 HP is not that big of a deal, but I think the Castle Age you're going to feel quite a bit, because 10 HP in Castle Age is a big deal. Upgrade cost reduced, you're going to feel that a lot. So, you're just going to be able to easily get into Elite Keshik, giving Tatars extra options. This is not as bad as the Conquistador double buff, though, because the Keshik is not the main unit for Tatars in most 1v1 games and most team games as well. So buffing it is, like, not crazy, but I think this will affect more team games, actually. Like a pocket play from Tatars, they just, like, easily get to Keshiks in Castle Age, and then they can play Keshik instead of playing Knight. I think that's what I see from Tatars from this change. I think Tatars can actually play Keshik in Castle Age in a team game scenario. In a 1v1, this is going to help a lot for the Elite Keshik switch. So you play range units the whole game, and then you switch to Elite Keshiks at some point and catch your opponent completely off guard. That's going to be very strong. Kind of like Huns with Tarkans, similar to that. Turks, gold miners work faster civilization bonus increased from 20% to 25%. I like it. It's a small buff to Turks. This might buff their fast imp on arena quite a bit, though. Keep an eye out on that Turk fast imp, guys. Those on Patreon, brush up on that build order. That's a pretty big change for a build where you put like 20 vills on gold. And that build is already really strong. So I might have to revisit the fast input Turks. That might actually push it into the broken category. I know it's a small change, but I would revisit that build order. That seems pretty decent to me. Next, final change. Jan Swordsman train time increased from 27 seconds to 35 seconds. That's a pretty good nerf. This unit was very oppressive when you get to castage fast. So I think I like a creation time increase. The unit is very strong. It can feel broken in certain cases. Making it longer to get to and longer to like produce kind of gives the defending player a chance to get to some kind of defensive unit like a long swordsman or a knight or a monk or something like that if he's on like an archer based civ. So I think that's probably a good change there for the Wu. Oh, 9 additional maps. That's what we need. Oh, my new map series on YouTube, guys. It's going to go crazy. I'm going to bring a gameplay on every single one of these new maps. I'm so happy to get new maps. A land of hills where forests cling to the summits. Yes. The high ground makes protecting woodlands challenging. Okay, cool. Sounds good. That's Crownwood, Dorothea Quarry. A sunken pit with a central water basin brimming with oysters for those bold enough. Scale the surrounding heights to reach the exposed forest and additional resources. That looks really cool as well. So you start close and you have to expand to the far. These are the Red Bull maps. These are the Red Bull maps. 100%. 100%. I can see a Crazini design from a mile away. This is Crazini made these. These are for Red Bull. All right. So I'm not gonna like look too much into it. I was very excited. Like new maps coming to the game. It's from Red Bull. I'm still excited. We can still go through it. But we're gonna play these like crazy on the Red Bull ladder most likely. So we'll see so much content on the live stream in January with these maps. So I will still preface them for you guys, but this would be mainly an Empire Wars thing. So you have Glacis, Hedgehold, Loch Ness, Rampart, Stonefront, and Thames. And sorry, one more of Vulpine. Not going to read all of them. You can pause and read if you guys want to, but we're going to have tons of content later with these. I'm sure they're going to be in Red Bull. I'm like 80% sure. But still cool. I like that we have new maps. So AI monks will no longer successfully convert buildings and siege units from large distances or those that cannot be converted, such as wonders. Okay, this is just like bug fixing, modding, and that's pretty much it. Cool. Overall, good changes. I like most of the changes that we made on this patch. I would say I'm a little concerned about some of the double buffing that's been going on. Some units felt like they didn't need a buff. We gave them a buff anyways. I feel like the team is really trying to push the unique aspects of civs further and further. The only issue I see with that is that sometimes you can get a situation where the unique stuff of a civ is so good that the civ always goes for that. And that I don't like that. I like civs to have diverse options and to feel like you can try different things and not like one option. You either go for it or you lose. That for me feels like it ends up being a little bit boring. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case, but I did see some concerns with some double buffing going on, and buffing things that are already strong for the civ can be a little dangerous. So those are overall my thoughts. Overall positive as usual. Happy to have the new maps. We're going to spam them for Red Bull, I'm sure. And of course, we'll make a YouTube video for each and every one of them if you guys are interested. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see a video on every new map when it comes out, just rank game and whatnot. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out my Patreon if you guys want to support me further and get access to builds, exclusive guide content, and all the behind-the-scenes activities. And check me out on Twitch for the live stream as well. Much love, everyone. Take care and have a good rest of your day. Peace.